A blockbuster Daily Beast report this week revealed how the State Department is fighting to deny same-sex married couples the right to pass their U.S. citizenship on to their children. My next guests have been forced to undergo DNA testing to establish a biological connection with their own children under a new State Department policy, a requirement not asked of married heterosexual couples. Under this policy, one of their twin boys, and I did say twins, is an American citizen, but not the other, who is also a twin. The Devash Banks are just one of the families affected by this new policy, and they are fighting back. And they join me now, the Devash Banks family, Andrew, Elad, Ethan, and Aiden. And Ethan and Aiden are in charge, but we're going to let the dads talk just for now.
Okay.
Because they're adorable. Okay, so I'm going to start with you. I'm going to let you start this, Andrew, because as I was just telling you guys in the break, I am very confused by this story.
Right.
These adorable children, Ethan and Aiden, this is Ethan and this is Aiden, are twins. Mm-hmm. But they're saying that only Ethan is American?
They're saying only...
No, only Aiden is American.
Exactly.
They're twins. They have to get the names right.
Right.
So Aiden is American.
Yeah.
And Ethan is not?
And Ethan is... So, you know, here's the thing is that these are both my twin sons. I'm on both birth certificates. They were born 4 minutes apart.
And they're twins.
And they're twins. And the State Department is applying this policy that only recognizes Aiden as a U.S. citizen at birth and sent us a rejection letter for Ethan.
How can they do that, though? Okay, so let's go to, really quickly, Elad. Yeah. What is your nationality?
I'm Israeli-born.
You're Israeli-born?
And I have a green card in the United States.
Okay, so you are a green card American resident?
Correct. And we were married in 2010 in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
We always wanted to move to the United States, to California, which is Andrew's hometown, but because of the Defense of Marriage Act, back then, Andrew could not sponsor me for a green card.
Right.
So we had to live in Canada.
Okay.
That's where we had our kids that are twins.
Yeah.
And they were created using assisted reproduction technology.
Yeah.
And then when we approached the U.S. consulate in Toronto to get our kids U.S. passports.
Planning for our move to the United States. All my family's in California.
Which people do all the time.
Right, yeah. My brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, my mother all lived in California, so we're preparing for our move now for our kids to grow up with their cousins.
Yeah.
And we were really, really shocked to have the State Department throw this wrench in us.
Right.
Yeah.
And say that only the kid with the biological connection to the U.S. citizen parent deserves U.S. citizenship at birth.
So I don't understand this at all. I'm just going to be honest with you. It makes no sense to me, A, because they are fraternal twins. Fraternal twins happen all the time. My parents were both born outside the United States. I am an American citizen. No one's ever questioned it. We've had people like John McCain, whose parents were American, but he was born in Panama in the Canal Zone. No one questioned whether he's American. Ted Cruz, I believe, is technically Canadian, but he can run for president. He's so American. So I don't understand how. So is this, to your understanding, with your attorneys, is this something that the Trump State Department is simply implementing only for same-sex couples?
So actually, this policy was in place many years ago.
Okay.
And the immigration law is very simple. If you are a child born outside of the United States to parents that one of them is U.S. citizen, then your kids are U.S. citizens at birth.
Right.
But the State Department is doing is they have this policy that is basically misinterpreting the Immigration and Nationality Act and saying that there needs to be a biological connection, while the law itself does not require such biological connection.
But you guys have, see, what I don't understand, that you have a biological connection.
So the State Department required us to take this DNA test. The results of the DNA test proved that Aiden was biologically connected to me. Ethan is not. Ethan's biologically connected to Elad, even though we're both on both birth certificates exclusively.
But can I reiterate just for the audience? They're fraternal twins, meaning that they are created with the two of your sperm created them. So they each have a biological connection to you, to each of you.
Right.
But they were both born of the same womb. So they are literally twins. They were in the womb together.
Exactly. And so here we are in a situation where I'm an American citizen, Aiden is an American citizen, Elad has his green card, and Ethan is on an expired tourist visa because they've rejected his citizenship.
And so what are they trying to do? Are they trying to deport the family?
Well, they haven't done that yet. And then in February, we had a big victory.
Yeah.
A federal judge in California declared that Ethan is indeed a U.S. citizen at birth.
Which is logical.
And the State Department was misapplying the law to Ethan. So what the State Department is doing now is appealing that decision, which is basically throwing us back into the fight. And we're going to continue this legal fight until it will be resolved by the courts.
So you have to now go back to court with the federal government of the United States to fight simply for the logical conclusion that your children are American citizens,
from birth.
which they are and would be if you were a heterosexual couple.
Correct. The thing is that as a heterosexual couple, no one would have asked us who are the kids related to biologically, because there would be an assumption that if both of the parents' names appear on the kid's birth certificate, then that's the end of the story. But for the State Department, that's not enough.
And that's what we said to the State Department when we were there, and they were asking us these probing questions and, you know, telling us that they were going to deny my child if he wasn't biologically connected to me, even though I'm on his birth certificate. And we said, what if Alad was a female and I was a male, and I was the American and I was infertile and we had to get a sperm donor? You know, and she said, oh, well, the presumption of parentage would be that you are. So it really feels like we are being treated differently.
And have your lawyers been concerned that if you lose this case, that this is an attempt to set a precedent that essentially invalidates marriages?
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. We can't assume what the government will do. What we know is that they're appealing it right now, and we will fight for our kids. And we will take it wherever we need to take it in order to fight for our family and for all other families.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming down and bringing these adorable, they've taken over the show. The show is now the Aiden and Ethan show.
Yay.
So we will thank Aiden and Ethan. Yay! I'm going to try to get a high five.
Hey, you want to get a high five to Joey?
Can I get a high five?
Yeah!
Can I get a high five?
Oh, yeah!
Victory is mine! Andrew and Elad Vashbanks, thank you all so much. And come back and tell us how everything is going, will you? Okay, excellent. More AM Drive to Break. Yay! Did you guys get blocks? Oh, see, look at that. You guys are smart. You brought